Namaste. Welcome to the Warrior Monk Wisdom at Sunrise series. A daily dose of self-discovery can bring the calm within the storm. For when we know ourselves, the rest of the world begins to make sense. Let's flow.
A challenge only becomes an obstacle when you bow to it. Ray Davis. Good morning. So we're talking about overcoming obstacles and my take on that, because we all know there's a lot of strategies, there's a lot of gurus, there's a lot of self-help masters out there on the general topic of overcoming obstacles. I have a 5-step path that is pretty broad, and maybe one day I'll make an episode on each of them just to kind of dive into them. But today we're just going to broadly, brush over them, because I see obstacles as transitions in life, because obstacles are always going to come up, just like transitions. We are one big cycle in life, right? So we are constantly in a state of transition, if you think about it. When you think of it in those terms, the first thing that we need to realize that we need is awareness of the obstacle, the challenge, and the transition. A lot of people aren't even aware of their emotions, their body, their feelings, how tired they are, what foods affect them in what ways. So their awareness is so low that it's hard to then get to the next step. So awareness is number one. It's hard because you can get stuck in awareness, because awareness can sometimes be a detriment. There is a saying that ignorance is bliss. And sometimes when you're stuck in awareness and you know that there's an obstacle and you know that something's going on and you just don't know how to fix it, it can become very frustrating. And so awareness is the first step, but it's also very, very difficult, because every single transition starts with awareness. And if you have a hard time getting to step 2, you're stuck in this awareness loop of knowing the problem and not being able to fix it. So that leads us to step 2, which is identify the issue within that transition, the obstacle or the challenge. Okay. So what that means is you're now aware of what's going on. You know there's an issue. Now you need to figure out what exactly is the root cause of it. I'm not talking about what happened in your childhood or whatever, but a specific thing that's happening in your life right now that you can take an actionable step towards changing. Those are the only things we can change, are what's happening in our life right now, which is what we've talked about in the past of, let go of what happened to you. That led you to where you are and you're aware of it. But now you need to figure out what the transition or obstacle is now, so you can immediately start making changes on that, which leads us to the next step, which is make a list of your current strengths and weaknesses that both help and hinder you through getting through those transitions or over those obstacles or past the challenge, because everyone has strengths and everyone has weaknesses. And being able to identify those and figuring out that sometimes your strength in one scenario is actually a weakness in the other. Okay, you're super loyal. That's a strength, just a broad stroke, right? But if you're having a relationship issue and it's because you're so loyal to a person that doesn't deserve your loyalty, that's your issue, right? And so you have to identify your strengths and weaknesses and figure out whether or not they are a strength or a weakness at the current time. And then next, you create rituals and routines to improve upon those weaknesses and strengthen your strong points to be able to then get help, set alarms, set SMART goals, all of these things that will basically mold your life into step until you create a routine to get past that obstacle. And the next step is self-assessment. Figure out what's working, what's not, how you're feeling now versus how you were feeling before, and then you repeat and you go back to step 1, which is awareness. And that is my general path to overcoming obstacles. That's all I got for you today, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for flowing with us. Remember to like, comment, share, and follow us on all your favorite platforms. Namaste.